know that I have a lot of fun. I post a lot of videos that really aren't that serious or whatever. Sometimes they're informative, but for the most part, I consider myself to be God. I follow, I follow a certain set of teachings that really emphasize the importance of being proud to be who you are. And I would say that the person that influenced me the most in my journey, the person that made me where I am consciously and mentally, is a guy named Wole Soyinka. He's a Nigerian. And ever since I first heard of him when I was 7 years old, I was watching a VHS tape, and he was explaining how Nigeria became a country, how it got its name. And he explained it like this. There was a river in this particular land, and it was called the Niger River. That's what the locals called it, the people in the tribes. This white woman had a dream one day and woke up and said, let's call it Nigeria. Iria means the land of. So Nigeria was an artificial construct. It was a fake country. There were a bunch of people, a bunch of different tribes that lived in one land, but they didn't like each other. They didn't even know each other. So the British came, and what they did was they made it one country. They put a border around all of these different people because it was easier to control them, you know. But really, in reality, these people didn't even know each other, so they forced these people to become a country. As a result of this being the origin of their country, the beginnings of their country, there was always tribalism. These people always fought over influence, over jobs, over this, that, education. Tribalism is very deep in Nigeria because of the way that they were formed. They were forced to live together in an unholy marriage. But this guy, Wole Soyinka, is the most important black man ever. More important than Malcolm X, more important than Martin Luther King, more important than Marcus Garvey, more important than Frederick Douglass. And I say that loving those people. I love those people, and I appreciate those black men, but this guy is more important than them. But not a lot of people know him. I'm going to show you some footage of him. He's 90 years old right now. He first got on the scene when he was in his late 30s. His country was going through a civil war. His tribe beefing with another tribe. They were going to war. And he got locked up and was about to be executed simply because he tried to make peace with the other side. And that's the story of his life, all throughout his life. Then when he finally got old, he became the consciousness of Africa, and he's the only person in Africa, in a country that's allowed to criticize the government and to talk freely. The only public figure who can do that without getting executed, simply because the people love him that much. I introduced Wole Soyinka as a young man.
Back with us after some time. We all know you as a university lecturer, a dramatist, a playwright of world class, and not in any way a politician. Do you think you got yourself involved in politics in any way before the authorities took you away some 26 months ago?
Of course, I got myself involved in what was happening. I don't know whether you call it politics or not. I don't consider war politics. I believe war is a human problem, and I'm a human being. You're quite right to say I got myself involved, but you're right to say I'm not a politician.
Yep. And this is him today.
Ask the question.
He's 90 years old, so sharp.
That would be the wrong word. I believe that the world, and I said this at the time, requires a state of war, a mind that is in a state of war. You're at a situation.
Captured the world's imagination with...
You're at a situation. But this was neglected, and so it festered. And now it's virtually, well, very nearly.
It seemed to have captured the world's imagination with Hollywood getting...
Hold on, I'm trying to find something.
It's a rebuke. It requires, even if it's a short, so for instance, your religion is, they think they have nothing to lose. But the foot soldiers have been indoctrinated for years,
right,
from childhood. And they believe, they're told, for instance, your religion is in danger. Go and kill. They do not think.
Islam is in danger.
As it is.
Yeah.
Sorry, no, their religion is not in danger. Islam is not in danger. It's the pervert, followers, the perverse followers, those who debase religion itself, who are being used and who use others and proclaim that they're fighting for Islam. So we have a situation where even those who unleashed this menace on the nation are now in danger because the foot soldiers, in many cases, have become very, very, quote-unquote, radicalized. And they've looked even at their mentors, their puppeteers, and they say, wait a minute, you're not practicing true Islam. And so they turn against them. And so the perpetrators, the real organizers, original organizers of Boko Haram, are looking towards the government for support. So the bottom line really is that we have a motivating aspect of this insurrection, which cuts across class, position, status, wealth or poverty. And if you look at other nations in the world, Nigeria is not unique about that. Look at Algeria. And that's part of the poverty of thought and knowledge of some of the leaders. They cannot look outside and see what happened elsewhere. If you look at Algeria, if you look even at parts of Afghanistan and so on, you find that religion itself on its own is a powerful motivating factor without even complaints of government neglect, etc., etc.
Right. I'll come back to the issue of religion in just a moment.
All right, basically he was just talking about Boko Haram, which is a Islamic terrorist organization in Nigeria. But please look this guy up, man. I mean, this is just a little glimpse. It's hard for me to really show you. You just got to look this guy up, look up his projects, look up his interviews. He's the face of Africa, the face of black people. Peace.